That's right. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. But you'll be telling us more about this duty, that you people do. Now, today on the program, our pastor is here to talk to us because he's an environmentalist, and he's here to talk to us about air pollution. Air pollution. So much we need to know about our environment, the air, and how to make it clean and healthy for us to live in. God bless you so much for joining us. Now let's kickstart the program with short words of prayer. Please bow down your head.
Father, we want to thank you once again for the gift of life. We thank you for being here. Thank you for the opportunity you have given to every one of us, even the viewer at home and we, the presenter. We pray, Holy Spirit Divine, that you speak through us. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. And take control of this program. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Viewers, don't forget that our social media handles are quite user-friendly. So always connect with us on Facebook. It is Dove Television. You can also follow us on Twitter by using following the handle Dove TV. You can also tweet using the handle and hashtag healthy living. Just when you tweet, the handle is at Dove TV, and then hashtag healthy living, so we can get your tweets on this program. You can also watch us on YouTube. It is YouTube/Dove TV Live. God bless you for joining us on Healthy Living today. Thank you so much, Pastor, for joining us.
I'm delighted once again.
Thank you, sir. So let's come back to you, sir. You're an environmentalist.
Can you take,
sir?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now give us the picture, the scope of an environmentalist.
Well, environmentalist, we have different area of specialization. Okay. We fell under the organogram of the entire holistic approach to medicine. Okay. Medicine is divided into two. We have the curative, where we have the medical doctors, we have the various physicians, we have the nurses. But the environmentalist is under the umbrella of preventive medicine. Okay. So also we are being regulated by a body called the ORECOM. So that is a body approved by the federal government of Nigeria, that before an environmentalist is licensed, he has to go through the rudiments of acquiring necessary skill in our institution, and after which you'll be licensed to practice by this body.
Okay, great.
So part of our activities is to see to the control of enacting the public health law in an environment and ensure adequate standard of living, prevention of disease, ensure that waste is being managed properly, house-to-house inspection, meat inspection, food handlers, screening of food vendors and food handlers, standard of adequate health, water sanitation. We are in charge of seeing that adequate standard and, living is being observed by individual or general public.
Okay, good to have you join us today on this program. And Pastor Stephen is the head environmental health unit under camp management, under RCCG camp management. Camp maintenance. Okay, camp maintenance. Okay, thank you so much once again, sir. So let's come down to air pollution. Yeah. What is air pollution?
We want to thank God. Environment holistically is huge. And part of the activities, in an environment is what we call activities of industrializations, populations, of people in an environment, activities that comes through vehicular activities, that come through trading. So here pollution is a presence of, toxic substance or toxic substance, toxic in the sense that chemical toxic substance that is present or particulate in an environment. And all these toxic substances, some of them you could see them with your naked eye, okay, that, presence in an environment. So while we have all these toxic substances in an environment, it has effects on the entire human being. It has effect on the plant. It has effect on the, the ozone layer. Air pollution basically is the presence of toxic substances in an environment. And these toxic substances are numerous. We have carbon monoxide, we have carbon dioxide, we have nitrogen dioxide, we have sulfur dioxide. So all this, it all depends on the kind of exposure and the kind of activities that is being carried out in such an environment. And that's why it needs for us to, discuss on this topic, because there are a lot of activities that pose health threats to man's environments.
Okay, so air pollution is the presence of toxics in the air.
Yeah, no, in an environment.
In an environment,
yeah.
okay.
Not only, in the air,
okay.
and find its way to the environment.
Oh, That's awesome. So let's look at some of these causes. Okay, now we know that when the air is polluted, when we have the presence of this toxic around us, it can affect our lives. So let's look at some of the causes,
Yeah, causes of air pollution is numerous.
Okay.
Now, before we look at the causes, let's look at, activities that led to
air pollution.
To air pollution. Enormous activities. We have natural activities like, wide wind, like volcanic eruption, man-made activities like burning, transportations, industrializations, you understand, civilization in an environment, deforestations, these are man-made activities.
Okay.
That could
I think we have a few of the pictures. Maybe our director can help us with some of the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay,
if the picture could be, I will appreciate it. So,
okay.
So man-made activities in an environment, particularly, that generate a lot of air pollutions. These pose serious health threats, and these health threats, the effect may not really occur at instance. At instant, okay, I think we're looking at this is industrialization. We have activities of population here. A lot of people on the street, a lot of vehicles on the seats. Okay. I mean, on the major road. You understand, emitting, offensive air pollution. You understand, some vehicles have been outdated. Still on the road. You understand, some engine of some vehicle. You understand, is of substandard, you understand, generates a lot of air pollution, and this air pollution percolates in an environment, find its way to direct, contact with human's health, goes to the lungs, you understand, reduce the potentials of the health standard, you understand, find its way to water body, find its way to ozone layer. And all these are the effects. We're having a lot of, flood in an environment. This could be traceable to air pollution activities, in an environment that is posing serious health to man's health. So causes, number one, could be either through deforestation.
Okay.
Because if you have a lot of trees being planted around your environment, it absorbs all these chemical substances, like nitrogen dioxide, like the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. You understand? So, but situation whereby the environment, the tree that's supposed to be planted, cut down. That's deforestation. It has so all this, chemical substance populating an environment, will to man's environment, you understand, neutralize the potential of the clean air that is supposed to emit, directly. And what people are emitting is pollutant.
But in the cities, how do we have trees around in the city? Of course, everybody wants to be in the city. You have to build new houses. How do we now have trees around? It's almost impossible.
It's possible because the major road, tree could be planted at the major road.
Okay.
You understand? It reduces the emission of all these pollutants that we just mentioned. Are you getting? At the major roads, residential area, you could plant tree at different strategic area. You understand? So as to reduce the potential hazard that all these pollutants cost to man's environment. So it is possible, and that's where planning comes in place. In our discipline, there's what we call EIA. Environmental impact assessment. You understand? So all this has to be in place for environment that is growing. You are in an environment, an institute, you understand, that's what we call EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. And this is a legal document that is being, various features in an environment has to be ascertained in that document by different professionals. How you get the town planners, the architecture, as the surveyor, the environmentalist, you understand? So the involvement of all these different personnel, has to be involved. You will now look at, okay, the next 20 years, this is a plan we've already had for this environment. When development is coming, when growth is coming, you understand, when population increase, automatically activities in that environment has to be increased as well. You know, vehicular activity, vehicular movement, transportation. Are you getting industrialization, factories, heavy plants? We're looking at power. So these are activities that put serious health if it's not properly managed and if it's not properly planned. Are you getting that? It reduces the health standard, the potential standard that individuals are supposed to enjoy in an environment.
So how do we now help ourselves? Because some of us that live in some parts of Nigeria, knowing that in Nigeria, electricity is one major issue. Okay, we don't have steady power, so we resort to using. I passed my neighbor generator. That's a small size of this generator, and you have them very close to your room. You have all like in a flat of let's say 10. You have each person has a pass my neighbor, and you hear the noise, the smoke, everything. How do we manage this situation?
That's why we look at the involvement of governments.
Exactly.
Are you getting it? Government, different private sectors. You understand? You know, whatever plants that you have to use a fuel, you understand, that generate carbon monoxide, you understand, through the entire environment. Because what you are generating, you understand, you don't know the effects to your neighbor.
Exactly.
You don't know the effect to your environment in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years. We're talking about various species of cancer. You know, this is activities that could be traceable to what is happening in such environments. Are you getting it? You release carbon monoxide, it weighs the water body, it weighs directly into human. We're having issues, a lot of people having communicable disease today, like tuberculosis, that is caused by bacteria. All these could be traceable to airborne disease. Are you getting? And what do we need to do? Number one, government has to be arise to their responsibility. Individual private sector has to rise to our responsibility. And the emission is less hazardous, that you can use gas as fuel. Are you getting it? That is, you don't necessarily have to use diesel. Are you getting? Because we know the implication of diesel, on plants if it emits, the emission. Are you getting it?
Yes, Pastor. Let me just pause for a second and let's come down to the place of the government. Because by the grace of God, on the redemption camp, well, I live here, and by the grace of God, we have steady power supply. What does it take the government of other states in Nigeria to have this steady power supply? So in that case,